For years, I tried to walk away from reading oracle cards and just allow my natural divination habits to run rampant as opposed to me using tools, because when I tend to use tools, I get talked about by family. You know, one year my aunt was like, "Oh, you read cards?" And I was like, "I read oracle cards." She specifically said tarot cards. And at that time, I felt like tarot was negative, because I'm more like vibrant. And, you know, in tarot, they come with tarot moments and dark energies when you're pulling certain things, because sometimes it could be positive and sometimes it could be negative. It really just all depends on what it is that you're doing. I say that all to say I'm out here shuffling cards, and I have so many decks, and the decks that I had created in a past life when I was living in Cali, they were so perfect, and I really, really enjoyed it. And I felt like if I never allowed other people's opinion of my goals affect where I was headed, I'd probably still be reading, right? So I think this is so ironic that in this whole deck that I'm shuffling, it says magic. You have the power now. Use your magic to attract what you want into your life. The sky is the limit. Ironically, my dad's middle name, which changed to Magic. So I have a couple of thoughts about that card being the only one that was in the upright in the deck, or showing, and all of the other cards were flipped over. So many cards just flew out. But I'm only going to take these two here. And it says, in the flow, the universe is sending you help. Tap into your power and go deeper to create the purposeful life you really want to have. Power position, you are being promoted or called to lead. Time to step into your sovereignty and guide others with compassion. And it's been so interesting because this card looks like a coat of arms. And if anyone knows anything about British coat of arms, you know that there were families who were identified by what their coat of arms were. This one has two swords, a tree of life, and a crown on top of the coat of arms. Digging into my own family history and recognizing that my family tree does have a coat of arms attached to it, because when you start going deeper down the lines, there is some colonial ties and some Spanish ties for me, origin from Spain. And then I also have African ties. So, you know, I'm tied to the Yoruba tribe, and have family from Ethiopia and Benin and Togo. So, you know, when you start realizing, right, the card flips out, give less fucks. The less fucks you give, the happier you will be. Obsession, focusing too much on one situation, the need to take a step back. Validate your past. You did the best that you could. Feel and empathize with your past, not judge it. I don't know why, but all day today, the past has been coming out as a thing that you should forget. Just let it move on to the wayside, and, you know, move on. And I've been really thinking about getting a new phone, because I'm tired of looking at all the same photos from the past. And I'm also not the person to consume myself with taking pictures or documenting all of my life. And I've never really been into that, and I became that, you know. So yes, I acknowledge my past, but I no longer resonated. I find that I'm always trying to figure out what to post now, because I feel like everybody has seen everything, and I'm like, I don't want to post old stuff. Bet on yourself, take chances, reach your dreams. You've got this. Stop looking outside of yourself for answers. You already know them. Didn't I just say all of this stuff, child? A little bit of faith goes a long way. Remember that. I'm going to get some cards from the Inner Child deck as well. says, listen, your inner child has something to say. Speak to yourself with kindness. Become aware of how you speak to yourself. So once again, I'm pulling out all of these cards right here, and it's just simple. There really isn't anything too complex about it. I feel like everybody is saying the same exact things. You have a message that's on the inside of you. It's not wrong to recognize who you are. Going back to your past is okay, but you shouldn't judge the message that comes along with it. We have to go back into our past to realize who we are, the power that we hold on the inside of us. It's okay to remember who you are. And I'll just be completely transparent. I feel that I've suffered from some type of SA as a child, and I'm not sure exactly who it was by. I feel like there's 3 key players that come up in my aura when I'm trying to recall a situation or an instance. So now I'm trying to decide who was the one that violated me as a child. But it's only so that I could heal some parts of me, because one thing's for sure and 2 things for certain. You cannot heal what you don't know. You know that something happened, but you don't know what happened. So it's really important for us to still do the work. This is why I say shadow work is extremely beneficial, because another card, guidance. Divine forces are showing you the way to go. You are discovering another piece of your destiny and your life purpose. When you don't know where to go, I was going to say you have to go deep into the shadow work to really figure out the tools or the breadcrumbs that have been left behind, right? So I said this before to someone in a private conversation, that some things that I used to like in the bedroom with my partner, I didn't realize stemmed from some type of SA, right? No idea. But when I started flashing back and really in my deep thought space, I was like, yo, this is a direct correlation to that. And unfortunately, many of us had our innocence taken from us. And that's why it is important for us to listen to our inner child. But it is also important for us to not give a fuck who we affect during this process. Because people want you to keep these secrets, for lifetimes, when you should always be betting on yourself to heal first. You have to take the steps, you have to take the chances, you have to allow this information to flow to you so that you can continue to heal those innermost parts of you. You have to remember that a little bit of faith does go a long way. Sure, we keep focusing on our past, but at some point you have to get up out of that dark space, because I know that I have. I know that I was born to stand out. I know that I'm not meant to fit in. I know that I have my own power, which makes me think about this coat of arms once again. You are being promoted or called to lead. Time to step into your sovereignty and guide others with compassion. So who are you? What are you being called to do? What has God, source energy, deposited in you? It's okay to have faith. It's okay to thrive in whatever energy, whomever you call your most high, right? Even if that is yourself. I believe that there is an energy who created me, right? I say Father God, Mother Earth, Universe, Source in them, because there is an entire force that created me. I came through a portal. I came through my mother's womb. That space allowed me to be born again, which is why when people get baptized, they're born again through water. It is a portal. There is something that happens when you are taking a dunk underwater to be born again. Whether if you're joining a cult, whether if you're joining a congregation, whether if you're truly being born through your mother's womb, all of those things stem from water, because water has a significance. To me, it is the most important element outside of air, you know, because they always say, like, when you're trying to speak light or power into yourself, you know, it may be important for you to speak into the water so that whatever it is that you're trying to drink, or if you're trying to take a bath, and if you're speaking high vibrations and affirmations into the water and you go lie in that water, you're enveloped in that energy. You know, the water now changes its original H2O molecule, and now it has crystallized with these positive words. So continue to pour into yourself. Music can heal wounds that medicine cannot touch, as I'm about to turn on a twerk session. Nutrition, your body is your temple. Try changing your eating habits. I'm telling you, I had to go back to the sun because I was in a dark space, in a dark environment with dark. I was surrounded by bricks, you know, and if I went into the backyard, the only greenery I had was where I was doing yoga, and everything external to me was eye level. So I couldn't see past those four walls, right? It's like a little kid who is stuck in his backyard, but he does not have another place to go, right? He only knows those four walls. And then when you start going outside and you walk down the street with your mom or your dad or whomever, you're like, oh my God, this is what's on the other side of the wall. And now they're curious. So now they're going to constantly want to be outside and constantly get into exploring, right? So I want you to listen to your inner child and realize that it's okay to take chances on yourself. It's okay to find that inner magic, you know, that lifeline that's going to push you to recognize that sky is the limit, and we need to talk to ourselves with kindness and push ourselves into another realm and dimension in order to become free as fuck.